There were Occupy protesters at Penn, and they were actually greeted by some of the students who go to the Wharton School of Business at Penn. Okay, so I want to show you guys the video. I don't want to give too much away, so let's watch. All right, so it's a little difficult to see there, but in the balcony area, you see the students holding signs and chanting, basically mocking the protesters, telling them, get a job, get a job.
Right. I've often been embarrassed by my alma mater, but never quite so embarrassed. Okay. Let me give you a sense of what Wharton's like. Okay. Now, first of all, I met great people there, lifelong friends. If you can't tar everybody with the same brush here, I went to Wharton. Obviously, I'm not on their side.
Oh,
right? Then
they're all horrible.
Right. Okay. And I went undergrad there, business school, graduate. Wharton is actually both undergrad and graduate. Anyway, but and those guys were in the graduate program. So we had a wall of fame at Wharton, right? And it had like Trump and all these people that went to Wharton. The problem was they kept getting arrested. So like Milken and some of the other huge junk bond guys who went to jail. So first they took one of the pictures off, then they had to take another one, and then they had to take another one. Once they took 3 pictures off, it became so embarrassing that they took the whole wall down.
Oh my God.
Okay, so those are the guys who are playing by the rules, okay, and yelling, get a job. Now the second irony of this is that a great majority of those protesters were union guys who have jobs. Okay, that's why they're in the union, right? But of course, it's not good enough for those douchebags up on the balcony. And if the average guy coming out of Wharton graduate program apparently makes $145,000 a year, they're like, oh, get a better job. No, I mean, come on. How can you not be embarrassed?
I mean, it's definitely embarrassing, right? And they're making their entire institution look clownish and foolish, right? And also, a lot of people are now saying, look at them, you know, this is the elite in training. This is what happens. They get trained, they go to these prestigious schools, and they graduate, and they buy into the system, and it's a vicious cycle.
Unfortunately, it's a culture that has persisted at Wharton, right? That they're proud of their douchebagness, right? And when we went there were a lot of guys like that too. And the idea is, like, by any means necessary, just get to the top 1% and then sneer down at everybody else from your balcony, right? And let me tell you something, it's a bad long-term strategy. You think you're so cocky that they're never gonna get to your balcony and that you could basically spit down on them. I wouldn't mess with the 99% that way. Okay, I think that's a bad way to roll. Apparently these guys don't, and they're so comfortable in their bubble of douchebagness that they can do this and think nothing of it. Look, the only thing I can say is obviously not everybody who went to that school are like those guys, but those guys, unfortunately, they're despicable, and unfortunately there's been a long culture at Wharton, as with a lot of the top business schools, which is just get the money, and who cares how you do it, and who cares who you hurt on the way.